We dey vote for member of parliament dem every 5 years. That means say the member of parliament they are. We dey give them with trust for let them go make law dem for we. But plenty time, the member of parliament they are no can come back to we for can explain wetin are the law they are where they don't pass and say wetin dey happen in parliament.
Well, put you at dung. Now that's make Radio Democracy don't come with the program Inside Parliament, where we go come to you every Saturday, 11 o'clock morning to 12 o'clock afternoon. Outside this program, go look at the bill them where they non pass na parliament, waiting at some of the issue that we come out inside, and plenty other issue them we connect to parliament.
Inside Parliament, go get member of parliament them, we go can talk about the law them, civil society, we go can analyze issue them, and serve other master sabi people, we go make you know waiting and waiting they happen inside Parliament.
So tune in every Saturday from 11 o'clock morning to 12 o'clock afternoon for the program Inside Parliament. We dey vote for member of parliament dem every 5 years. That means say the member of parliament they are. We dey give them with trust for let them go make law dem for we. But plenty time, the member of parliament they are no can come back to we for can explain wetin are the law they are where they don't pass and say wetin dey happen in parliament.
Well, put you at dung. Now that's make Radio Democracy don't come with the program Inside Parliament, where we go come to you every Saturday, 11 o'clock morning to 12 o'clock afternoon. Outside this program, go look at the bill them where they non pass na parliament, waiting at some of the issue that we come out inside, and plenty other issue them we connect to parliament.
Inside Parliament, go get member of parliament them, we go can talk about the law them, civil society, we go can analyze issue them, and serve other master sabi people, we go make you know waiting and waiting they happen inside Parliament.
So tune in every Saturday from 11 o'clock morning to 12 o'clock afternoon for the program Inside Parliament.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of the program Inside Parliament, where they come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. You dey same way so listen to on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl, and self you dey watch we live now Radio Democracy Facebook page. Well, you can send your message to the number on 077-981-981. Well, today inside the program Inside Parliament, I get with me Abdul Karim Habib, we na the National Coordinator for Network Movements for Democracy and Human Rights. Well, there for can talk about waiting then think about the white paper. And also I get with me Melvin Tijan, we they are so we na parliamentary reporter and self na somebody we don't think a parliament, and we don't they cover the proceedings them and self some other thing them we keep happen. Well, instead there for can talk but how members of parliament them go ensure say they maintain peace na then different constituency them. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. Good morning listeners.
The program is still a listen to na Inside Parliament, where they can to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. You the same way so listen to on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl. You can send your message or call on the number on 077-981-981 for be part of the program and ask you question. Like as I been say, I get Abdul Karim Habib, we na the National Coordinator and he come out from Network Movement for Democracy and Human Rights. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning, thanks for having me.
Okay, we go take we first issue inside the program before we come to the studio guest them. One role of member of parliament them na for do oversight na different ministry, departments and agency them for know if they do the work the proper way. Where this make this being time the Parliamentary Committee on Mines be go do oversight na Polokot on Kono district for know if then they do the work them proper one. Outside this waka where then do na Koidu Limited Wongong Mining Company and Sierra Mineral. And this may make the chairman for the committee, Honorable Sir Emasi Lamina, say they go take action against any mining company where they go fair not say no they do within the inside the Mines and Minerals Act. Well, I'll be the part of this and put these reports together. This oversight worker, wey member of parliament them from the Mines Committee, go do na mining company dem na Kono, Tonkolile and Poloko districts. Outside the committee, we go work na Koidu Limited, Sierra Mining Company, and other mining company them. Sir Emasi Lamina, na the chairman for the Mines Committee, a start for talk about the reason them we make them go do this oversight na the mining company.
I must also intimate members of parliament that I'm getting headache, if not an Aquilian task, from other districts who have not been complying to these regulations spelled out in the books. In the books, as surface rent as spelled out in section 34. In the books, as CDA as spelled out in section 39, 139 and to 142 of the Mines and Minerals Act of 2009. You are commendable. I must commend you for adherence to these particular regulations. I will not shy away to tell you that other districts, I'm getting headache from the traditional authorities, from the councils that are affected, every now and then bombarding me with telephone calls that they are not being adhering at all. Late. The committee also want to know what has been your challenges in terms of production.
Inside this oversight, where the committee member them go do, then we go work na Koidu Limited, where then they call Koidu Holdings. Outside the managing director, Roko Vermeulen, we do PowerPoint presentation to member of parliament them and talk about the challenge where the company they face. Also, he say the company not gets people where they do underground mining.
Because Sierra Leone hasn't got the skills set for underground mining. You don't have underground miners. Other countries, I mean, if you take Ghana, you take South Africa, you take other countries, there's Australia, where they have underground mines. So the issue with that is I have to get expatriates to come and do that for me. So what we've done is, it's currently on hold due to COVID, but what we've done is with Dike Zone B is, it became our national project. So what we did was our guys that went to Ghana School of Mines, they come and they work with expatriates. We have 3 or 4 expatriates that works as quality controllers.
The committee been same way so go waka na the Wongong mining company. Outside people them na Kamaronimia chiefdom na Kono district been raise serious concern about the mining where they go on na this community.
Take 60% of youth there inside this Russia. Tell we of school, when secondary school, they will build out for them, then make the land, possibility of such. And then tell we of this land, then say even when they can, they will cut land for we. When we say we will become mining and agriculture, already na this no more. Mostly we begin they will feed them go na buso na Colatino de for the door. We say several days for say company where cannot done. There's a big eligible people there. There's a big part and there's nothing.
Then say if they begin up here or then cut for them, then say they will cut for the town people there. First their own place. So their own place go there before they say begin go. We not get no promise. Now thief don't work. We not get one day after what they say we businesswoman there. Then they broke the mouth for we. No business will not get out. Then they thief then they kill people there. Who people there the only way they open. Over 7 people that we can use open at the only over 7 people that left inside the water. When are we picking them?
Mutada Tunis, now the director of operations at the Wongong mining company, being quick for denying this allegation where them people here make.
So when Corona came, we did not shut down, but we streamlined our staff. We trimmed it down to a skeletal staff, and we even went into rotational labor force on a 3-monthly basis. So we'll take people from the community every 3 months. Every 3 months, they will keep the best, and in those ones, just so that every member of the community can have a taste of the operation and also benefit his or her family. Sometime in April, donated over 50 million worth of preventive materials to the community. That included hand sanitizers, Veronica buckets. Sometime last year, we graded this road that you all drove on today. In the process of developing a new hospital, a community health clinic.
But waiting the member of parliament for constituency 023, we cover Kamaro Nimia chiefdom na Kono district, Honorable Musa Fufana think about the allegation them yam.
One follower believes that this committee gets all the powers according to section 105 for make waiting with community people they want because we are lawmakers. I want for a show now, say this committee don't hear everything one I don't see. As I say in a process, this committee gets all the power for change waiting they want for change. But as I say in a process.
Honorable Musa Fufana end up say, and not go take again, the people them from this village go hear from the committee the decision where they go take for sake of this issue. for Radio Democracy, Prince Espias the reports. The program is still listened to inside Parliament, where they can to live from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. You the same also listen to on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl. And if you watch we live now Radio Democracy Facebook page. Well, today inside the program, as we go talk about the white paper, but before we can talk about the white paper, the report just don't come out. We been talk to some people for sake of this white paper where government the commission them set up and for look and investigate some past government who command them we be then at the past administration because of corruption then say them they do thing them when them be all office. This makes September 24 this year. The white paper them don't pull them and hand over to President Bio who say he say he go look all them go ensure say they implement all the recommendation them. Well, for no waiting ordinary people them think about this government white paper, Kabea be go talk to some people and now this them get for say.
Simon Adolphus Collins. A very good thing where the government don't embark on, because really gone are those days where we leaders them go steal the people's fund, embezzle, then say nobody no get right for question them and then can do them with impunity. So I believe say this is a very good stepping stone the government don't take. Well, I expect say then go implement and act upon the recommendations where the Commission of Inquiry don't give, where they don't already give to the government. I don't see this thing as witch hunts. The only thing some of we be expect some certain names they will before add to the names them we with the rewrite now. Certain names them will be served at the past governments.
Me a concerned citizen Emakel. So me on thoughts from where they begin to set this Commission of Inquiry and since where this government take over, we don't see anything like a peace for the country. The white paper will come also today now the way we see it's like our car hunts the opposition big guns there, especially the former president, then with certain members then of the opposition party. If they don't start for say that they go seize the former president in house, where use government money for billing, it don't bill us before it become a president. Then one. Then secondly, if they want to and genuinely for the sake of the country and peace, then get certain ministers there. What is serve them right now? What be they serve now the past government? But in the name they're not ever did it. Where they say don't do something where some of we are aware of. Musa Tawali, the Minister of Lands, when Dr. Sandy, they all don't do something at the council where they work under the past government. So the names are all of around there. And the former president, instead when become this Commission of Inquiry be done, but instead we move with that because he want peace at the country and he want for work with everybody.
Well, me a concerned citizen. To be honest with you, the white paper, as to me own view, I don't get problem with that. Because this, you don't say we will wait for this white paper. You say for happy with this white paper don't come out now. But what they say is, if this white paper get for continue, this present government now will do so, then if themselves get for common power, Commission of Inquiry get for continue.
Mina Fatima Tabale Bangura. Just like where the lawyer said this morning radio, I think from the commission to the white paper, they not give citizens them the rights. The one that where the name call, we not feel say them give them the rights because if them be sincere to their conscience and the country, then get serving ministers them we serve now APC government and where they serve now this present government where they left out. So we look at like witch hunt. And for the president pull white paper they say them for seize the former president in oath now God rich. We not see say the president want peace now this country. Nobody know in this country we no know say the then president don't be like oath before him become president now this country.
Like first of all, we thank the government because whatever they do is this for first in the interest of every Slovenian. Though some might be the doubt on whether it will come out at all. Since I hope they let it be a kind of free something, let it be politically free, so that everybody goes share say I need to have something and then they go and righteously.
Well, that's now, Kabia, being they talk to different people about what they think about the government white paper we just come out. The program is still listened to inside Parliament with the Council Live from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. Well, I still get my studio guest them. I get Abdul Karim Habib, we na the National Coordinator, we come out from Network Movement for Democracy and Human Rights, and I get Melvin Tijan, we they are so safe for Kaipu talk small body thing. The white paper become about after we government we set up the commission of inquiry for investigate past government officials them, but how them use government couple and say for look at the corrupt practices them where then say be they happen. So now before we go, because some of we they look at the white paper now because it boku. So we not go able for discuss much, but we go just do a summary discussion concerning the whole issue. So firstly, what do you think about this white paper? We finally, after they don't conduct all the investigations from the Commission of Inquiry and finally don't be out. What do you think about them?
Yeah, thank you very much, Princess. For the Network Movement for Democracy and Human Rights, we position as a right-based and democratic good governance organization. We don't preach so much for accountability in our country many years, and we'll continue to do that. We position on the white papers organization. We welcome that. In fact, right from the inception of the inquiry itself, we welcome that. We believe, say, social accountability is something we will take a very much serious as a nation. But Commission of Inquiry, this is not the first. The time where the one we mean no way abidor get sense. One get for deal with when the NPRC be take over, and me personally be they go they sit down they list in the hearing. When Akindo we are not get school, you know, and then also in 2007 again, when the then government be also institute another commission of inquiry for the other government when Tijan Kabal-led government. But for we want for now see say commission of inquiry for be a real issue way for make Sierra Leoneans where they take public offices. We include the civil society because we are all public servants. Well, you know, it's not only elected position or maybe political appointees with public officials. Let's really see corruption as something with very expensive. People don't know for the douane, like how being the CNC will do like with impunity as a nation is not fair. In fact, that's made the country up to now, you know, they go before. If we see then some of the amounts and the way that paper day is so humongous, and how people would be dishonest to the citizen of this country. And if people then they cry for law give them job, that's the politicians, for God's sake. That job will give them with the citizen. If we give them job, for God's sake, then for him for do the correct thing way for me this country go before. But the other way around, what did they happen? Will they turn around as citizen? Will they admire them? Will they clap for them? Why then they step on with toes? So we think, say, the commission of inquiry for now be something we for make for this present administration and all other public servants for letting see corruption not for be a way of life. You don't understand, even this present government to report document do other people they bash and attend, but for us as civil society NMD shall we support their report then day, and if the present administration is not happy about it, well, then I do that, but it's good. As I'm speaking yesterday, when they called me for this program, and they asked me, say, even the Auditor General report from 2019, we are almost the 9th month of 2020. Auditor General report now coming for 2019. Of course, Auditor General report for 2018. Now be two government, because you know the previous government run until April and then take over. So that one, but one for see really Auditor General report way for really get for based on this present administration, allow people for analyze them. But up to now that report not come up. This is where corruption they also they encourage, because the last time Auditor General report will they come out every year. You know, you have people where they say not just perception. You know. As a government people, we know then they say now they just mere opinion of people. Yes, but those opinion believe say nothing way Auditor General be able for investigate and know these are the things that will be happen. What we Parliament be they do with that? How we Parliament be they able for really play the oversight role for let make sure that these Auditor General reports recommendation be implemented. It not ever happen. We don't come back to the same administration. Now Auditor General report for 2019 it not come out it. You see? So we want to see for the recommendation in this report, let it be something far from politics. Let the citizen of this country see and say, this is no more politics. It is about we as citizens, how we for move forward. We not for continue always they admire other nation. We were at the same level with Rwanda today. We admire Rwanda. Ghana was behind us today. Ghana don't grow past we. We admire that. How Sierra Leone will continue like that? It is something very, very much shameful and disgraceful to this country.
Okay, just like what you say, the white paper una welcome because una want for make government officials them be accountable. Now this report we come out, we don't see concerns don't they come out and say from people when they go talk to, they say some people we suppose for they part of this, they omit them come out they then just target some certain set of people. So you think say this inquiry where this particular government been set up now before target some certain people or now for the good of the country?
Well, honestly, the opinion of citizen many times is not far from the truth, but in my understanding, my observation, there are people who have been there with the present former government. The name also not appear inside the report. You understand? So they're not your opinion. You understand? But we also always a call on government for let the law taking cause. You understand? Let not be selective justice. You understand? So, but if what's in the people that they say, you understand? For me, I think say there are also people where they be actively in the former government, but the name not appear inside this white paper. You know, so it don't necessarily mean say when somebody deal with this government, in name for appear. You understand? We also believe say people they know the name appear, then also deal with this government. So you know that kind of thing. So let the people that read the document very well and try for really read between the line, so that they're able for analyze very well, rather than for just think about politics. Honestly, Princess, what did happen to a country is so shameful that everything would all focus attention to politics. If it doesn't be red, it's for be green. I'm really tired with this color. You understand? So now that kind today, now that kind of perception, people they look at her. But if you read the report, there are names in the report. You understand? Where they actively they inside that government. Where the name not appear, sorry, in other words, there are names where we expect say for day, but they not appear. There are also people where honestly presently serve under this government, their name appear. So you know, you maybe justice, whatever it be say the president not ever unduly influence the process. So that's not the reason. You understand? I don't really want for like say I be the parts of the process or of about than a mere observation, you understand? So names and the way come, you understand, we they not also come. So another kind of thing.
So nothing say anything go wrong with the process, with the inquiry process?
Well, honestly, for now, since with the expect say then for go back na court, and then we Supreme Court, a court of appeal, where maybe then go for go on route other things the way we don't know about. But as of now, we believe say the process starts according to the constitution. It go to parliament. Parliament here a legitimacy. You understand? The process starts. So and also the former government they send lawyers there. Then you get some also people and they will also serve inside the government as a minister. Also be go present themselves. You understand? So it was legitimate. So another kind of thing. So we not really see anything wrong with the process on to date.
Okay, well, that's now Abdul Karim Habib, the National Coordinator for Network Movement for Democracy and Human Rights. Well, I get with me Melvin Tijan Mansari, we the ultimate at the studio. Instead we go talk small thing, but since in a media analyst and done they follow up the inquiry process and safety to the time way they don't pull this white paper report and we go talk about with the member of parliament them go do for to say they maintain the country in peace, because we don't see a lot of issues them don't they come up now parliament. But first, before we go and talk about some of the issues then they now you just listen to waiting Mr. Abibi don't they talk about the commission of inquiry, and we don't see government in, government out, like where it say they set up commission of inquiry, but the same reason where then they set up for still they continue. The corruption where then they say now the reason that we made them set up the commission of inquiry for tap and for B still they on the increase. What do you think say no gets right yet?
Well, I think so. We still get weak state institutions. We still get weak laws. We still lack the much needed political willingness in curbing some of these issues. I will just take the issues them interspersingly. You talk about what do we need for do. Parliament gets a lot of work for do. If we get an effective and a very powerful parliament, perhaps we don't need commissions of inquiry, because commissions of inquiry, their option with the constitution, give the president based on certain procedures and provisions. So for me, I think so, because we still not get what we call checks and balances in public offices. That's right. So we still the struggle. But yes, you have to look at the country in history. You have to look at this is a country we don't face wars, we don't face epidemics, and we still grapple with poverty and all of those things. So we get a duty for make sure that things work. If not, the situation will continue for the reverse and degenerate. We will be a threat. On the commissions of inquiry, I think firstly, we will say kudos to the president for being bold enough. Constitutionally, he has got the constitution gives power for publish or not publish commissions of inquiry reports. It come out like waiting me co-panelists, we don't talk. Some people let me get different views about that. And for me, it's clear. Like constitutional process where they unfold. We get political, we get judicial, in fact, more so now judicial, for the fact that the constitution gives power for seek an appeal, or say adverse findings then be made. So again, if we allow the process for unfold, the only thing I think waiting government need for do, firstly, the government need to get a strategic communication approach around this COI report, because it's so voluminous. People they ask questions and get concerned. And for me reading as per law, the commissions of inquiry in reports now for justify the white paper. So if you see the people they ask, what about some people that will be in goody and they don't end up, the name not come, I'm sure myself still study the reports. I'm sure the reports for able justify that. If not, we get judicial processes, we get for the CAM, we get for question, all of those things. But again, we're not going to lose sight of the fact that there was a very fundamental constitutional argument around a certain provision of the law, when section number 150, we talk about rules and regulations for commissions of inquiry. I am not a lawyer, but I'm sure if this get for going to the appeals court, it might end na the Supreme Court. Because again, we see people participate in the process. We see people before that challenge the process. But however, we see the process come out for reveal stacking revelations of money there, where I tell you, if we look from the people's perspective, nothing away from it don't benefit me or you. So we don't build schools, don't build hospitals, don't build facilities. But the money then they somewhere, somehow, as per the first phase of the process, we see them don't be unaccounted for. So for me, I hope that the judiciary will be very independent. Let nobody not say this now because of a day at this party or not day at this party. Or let nobody not say that because it come up from this region or not come on at this region. And I think in Uganda now the ball actually dey. Let people get more trust, but first more understanding as to waiting make team be and waiting at the next team for be and waiting it be, why make it be. Because at the end of the day, public confidence now we need. You already sample the way you do. It seems as if we get divided public opinion about the sincerity of purpose. We will not need forget, because we talk about fighting corruption, now the biggest public interest war that. So we don't need to forget any doubts. We don't need to forget, yes, we'll get dissenting views, but then dissenting views and they're not equal to the supporting views. So for me, this is a step in the right direction, a day in tandem with the constitution, and let we allow the process then for unfold, and let we give the process the chance so that we go see waiting to come out of nation corruption, we for fight them, irrespective of who in a power or who not in a power. But it can more better when governments in power set the brighter example among themselves, then people get more confidence. Public confidence in the fight against corruption is key. Once you leave room for people to forget skepticisms and doubts, then that's an hindrance to the fight against corruption. So I think say for now, Parliament gets a lot of work, but not getting that again for do with the white paper. It don't come under the domain. Do that thing that we see the rancor over constitutional or statutory instrument versus no constitutional or statutory instrument. We see how that legislative process did the end with so many debacle. But for now, interestingly, we get sitting member of parliament where the name kind of the white paper. And again, people only talk say we get sitting minister where the name in the white paper. We get sitting permanent secretaries with the name in the white paper. For in my opinion, I feel say for avoidance of obstruction or interference, some of those people for be relieved for now until the process end. Because you cannot be a minister and you've been indicted in a white paper and still control that office, even if not so for that office they in crime. So for allowed due process and fairness, some people where their name don't come for now, yes, they get power for challenge. But if you are actively serving somehow you use them, you discretion and sit back and allow the process, or if you don't under the presidential appointment, the president will take another bold step, like I pull the report and he leave some of those people and they force and allow the process to unfold.
Okay, now talking about the fight against corruption, we see USAI different institutions don't pull reports where they allege say corruption in a parliament and even among members of parliament them and even self state house they measure pan the report of corruption. So with all the fight we don't they go on for say some of them thing in the happen. What do you really think say they happen with the fight against corruption?
We still get secrecy in the war against corruption until and unless, in my opinion, asset declaration is made public. We will still get situation where now the report talk say former president Kuruma house, no house, and some other dealings. Why? Because we get room for secrecy. But if some of those things are public, then you only for doubt whether that host they been getting before you can have power or after you can have power. So that's the one thing in the fight against corruption. And again, another important element in this fight, we only foresee the fight as a needful fight, not a fight against persons or political parties or region. Because once you get that, we go to tilt the process. On explain wealth, that is the center, the canker worm in this report. In this report, people then get property we don't know able for justify. We see even properties there, they call everything ownerless properties. For God's sake, how property will they not get honor? So all that shows say we get lapses in the processes. The asset declaration, if it be made public, then other disclosures then there people and the need for the make. If you're not a businessman, you don't have politics. Then disclosure need for make them, because at the end of the day, it make room for conflicts of interest, particularly in the parliamentary terms, it make room for corruption. You know, for example, in the appointment committee, it's clearly stated in the standing orders that canvassing of committee members are not allowed. But on the other hand, you see canvassing openly. We see in our committees in the parliament, where somebody say, this, I mean, I go to the same college. Where this, they say, I mean, I come out the same, this, I get a vouch for her. We don't see, even our appointment committee, say somebody in pray, no more, pray, they say, go. And if you the appointment committee of parliament, don't vet somebody in credibility as best on documents and public opinion, then I think the problem begin. You need to go take thief man, go put in a government office, you expect say not thief. So that's again, that checks and balance there a week. And the committee on appointment of parliament, they need for to do more for the scrutinize people. Now we can get a situation where let's say they go appeal and the appeal court still uphold the decision. We are not going to forget people and technically not ban them for campaign politics. So, but by law, the constitution of Sierra Leone, they're not supposed, because certain office the way you want for you know for be a convict. And with this first white paper, it's like a high court decision. If he left so the appeal court no overturn. Some of them people are not for kind of office, but you go see against some of them people and they say one party they can. Then people and they go get public appointment and go back to office and no action be taken against them. So I think say we need for see the fights needful, but above all we need for get strong state institutions. We need to get strong laws on assets disclosure, public interest disclosure, clear principles, not the things where you need to go begin make secret. Because at the end of the day, look the Auditor General's reports. Like the colleague just talked now. That's everybody, we all only look for this debate on this report. We see the debates even between government bench MPs, them, Honorable Tawa versus the Honorable Deputy Speaker, as to whether they're for debating at the well or go debating at committee. All of these If you want to let people know about the processes, make sure they can debate on the well. So all man go know say na so happy no. But I mean, if you go get something where in secrecy, at the end of the day, people will get doubts in now. Even if not for the good of the state, people are going to always question now because salon people it's easy for them to get doubts past something. So no give room for any doubt. The process therefore be more transparent in this.
Okay, we go come back and talk about within the APC party them think about this particular issue because then get a concern as the investigation be surround around the past government. Well now let's relax and take short music break inside the program.
Why not they grow? Yeah, hey, bo, you want for no, Wait till make we country they grow slow. Wait till make it all they grow. Yes, so I can for sure. Yes, I can for sure them thing them way they make we know they grow. Say now we they like one. If I they try for go before, I beg do ya not make us slow? No. If I try for raise the tempo, do ya not make them low? Yes, so if I try for go before, I beg do ya not make us slow? No. If I try for raise the tempo, do ya not make them low? Yes, so before they do them thing now we go make we gladdy, thing now we go make we happy, thing now we go make we country laddie daddy. So we go live in unity. Yes, so before they do them thing now we go make we gladdy, thing now we go make we happy, thing now we go make we country laddie daddy. So we go live in harmony. Yes, so don't we for do them thing now we go make we smarter, thing now we go make we stronger, thing now we go make we nation last much longer. So we life them go better. Yes, so but we for left them thing now we go make we scatter, thing now we go bring palava, thing now we go make we nation well panambara, make we people scatter.
Scatter that you talk about. I like that.
Thing them like half flavor plava.
For left them thing them we go make we country scatter. The program is still a listen to now inside Parliament where they country live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. You the same say watch we live now Radio Democracy Facebook page and you listen to on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl. You can call on the number on 077981981 for be part of the program. Also, I go make a point and ask you question. Also, if you can send message to the same number for make yourself go make you point. Well, today inside the program, we don't talk about different issues them, but waiting come out now the white paper. Okay, we don't get to be first call. Okay, well, the number we for call is 077981981 for be part of the program. Well, just a quick concerning the Auditor General's reports, because according to say now every the previous year then keep pull out every December, and then keep pull the Auditor General's reports. Not so like with 2020 they so the Auditor General reports and keep pull next year. Just a quick correction concerning the Auditor General reports where you be they talk about just now. Well, now, concerning this same issue inside the white paper, we don't see Usai, like we Melvin say, the main issue now for recover all state assets and save money them way for going to the consolidated fund. Now we see Usai, they don't say, like mostly they say they will take all the properties of the first time president and it's by Kuruma, all in property them and save other people them. We then think say, the money them we then get way for build or gets them some of them property they not be some amount to the kind money them we they get. Now one thing that way the party thinks say then get for go na the Court of Appeal. Well, the concern where they come na that if the party go able for get any kind justice, because we don't see usai the party they discredit the credibility of the courts, because most of the time then they say some of the thing them when they can go to courts they know they able for get any kind of justice if they want, but yet still they say then they take this matter to court. So what do you think about this?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's so ironic because the former administration, the court way, they know, well, I don't know if they really not get 100% trust in that court, but not the court of Sierra Leone. So they encourage you for get trust in that court, because it's the same, now the same court they use for also take decision on other matters. They tell you the Medina power, it not change at all at the same court. So I think say they forget trust in that court. The opinion of public about the properties, we honestly, as I just say, that one the diverse opinion get for the throughout, right? The exception of this whole process, diverse opinion in there and get for continue. But we want for talk to citizen. It is about themselves. We as citizen, how we country go move from the side they for the bien. And the only thing we're responsible for that's not corruption. Nothing for really things in irresponsible. Also, honestly, if the president want for really show we say is more serious about fighting corruption, as you correct me say the Auditor General reports, they come out December, okay. Me so because I really think say 2019, maybe midway the other year, maybe the 6 months or the 8 months, the Auditor General report for don't come out. Then because the other year, we don't pass. So, but I mean, maybe that is what Sierra Leone Auditor General report designed. Now that time they pull out. But we the citizen want for know now, because if they pull 2018, we'd have been joined. And mind you, Gibson says that particular report the bigger issues 2018 or the general report, but people will be argue because now be a share responsibility between two governments. But this one I want to see how usually the STPP led administration manage we affair, So how the president, where are we wait for serious about it? That report come out the recommendation. If we really take him more serious as a president, mind you, with president come and do something where some of you will be impressed, but be don't relax. You understand? For visits, their offices, their government office, as I tell you, government civil servant, government staff, they don't begin also you get late. Then they go work on time. You understand? That the same thing will happen. So if the president of start something, then only after 1, 2, 3 months they relax. We go begin to doubt that kind of thing. So some people go say, well, if you one for make let people know say that kind of thing. But if you continue, you understand? So that kind of thing. So the opinion of citizen of the report about assets, where people the asset get for be, because I don't want to be personal here. People the asset get for be seized by the law. You understand? I believe say people for no say people they be done they build houses. People they be done drive vehicles. People they get mind they drive big vehicle their way. Where also they really customize in salon. But we country they manage this economy. Why if we will get politician will get customized vehicle? People then go on for us who say pull that money how your salary be day. You understand? So that are the things that the way we really want to talk about with Parliament. Like Parliament really wants for serious. The things that would be see where chairman of committee they resign. For some certain things then, and we get some also members of Parliament in the interview, then they really agree, yes, say this thing happen. Now that kind of thing they want for big, the kind of thing all they see in our country, we say hope they, honestly. We don't want to encourage the present Parliament for let us continue with that, so that people will get trust in with Parliament. And you see the way they at the end of the 5 years, so the people go out for give for make you go there back. So now that kind of thing and they, you understand, eh? So honestly, we we opposition NMDHR social accountability organization we think say this thing is very good for our country. I believe say if we continue this way, corruption at way people and therefore are really afraid now for be corrupt. It will minimize now society, and we will begin see development where everybody will want for see in our country.
Okay, now the recovery of excuse me, the recovery of assets during the commission of inquiry, where them they go through the process, we be see outside like during the interrogation process where they go on at the commission of inquiry, where then they ask the surveyor so we think like we can go assess or survey land. It can just say it's in up here and watch from what it see it's in a so they evaluate the particular couple we know say them we use for build this particular structure. Now they for recover some plenty people the assets where they feel say some of the couple they use for get that particular structure they not come out from their own pockets. And some they go the idea say most people assets we then get some man get before they appoint her for working at the past administration. So some of them asset in the way then get for recover. You think say now the legal way then get for do for take some of people and property them where some man get them before it starts for working at the administration?
Well, I think that's made them go courts. Me opinion on that go say the courts get for take the decision, you understand, we go there in the best interest of us really, including even the one that we right now when are the people that we the name there on the paper, you understand. So that just would be me opinion on that then get for go to court and the court get for investigate and also let the law of this country take rightful place. So now that's make what they say, the implementation of these recommendation if they far from politics, let be real law we will all respect. Let somebody influence the process, that kind of thing. So if somebody they claim say we know very well some people that be get house before them then get a job. But if for example if somebody be get a house, don't get a job, they broke that house, they bill them back fresh. How you go call that one day? You understand? Like I get land, I not do nothing. They are build house. They tell them give me position. You understand? I need for declare. But also if I get land, I get small host day. You understand? We don't give me job. They are broken. And bill and also can't we so also people then go question. How say police money out for this kind massive structure we don't put in place? So now that kind of thing is some people we witness people that get a bigger house before them get a job, but probably they broker, they build some kind way and that bill we don't bill now the land is yours, but the bill we don't bill so then we must question how you manage to forget that money they maybe you salary and all the travel allowances as they put together still it pass that house there more the shameful part of it. You get more than 2, 3, 4, 5 of that kind in there. You understand? It's so embarrassing. It's so greedy.
Okay, now Melvin, on this asset recovery, where they part of this white paper, where they get for take some people and property them, just like we see during the commission of inquiry, where then they interrogate like the surveyor, where can explain how you do know say this person, this in particular structure is amount to this money we take for be like it is you see the surveyor they explain that from this distance now in watch and no say this na so and now they get for recover some people and property them we then get with this. Remember then at the APC administration say they will take this particular matter na court. You think say they will get any case?
Of course, then we get case because the constitution make provision for appeal on the legal ground. But again, me now one strong proponent of accountability. But I'll tell you, this another Sam Sumana Part 2 case for the judiciary. Basically, how the appeals courts go able to simplify this ambiguous explanation around the calculation of unexplained wealth. Ambiguous. You know what I mean? Because it's in absence you watch, you don't get the exact calculation. Again, how the appeals court will go for inquiry into the activity of the former president when we know, say, for example, the McKinews, a Chinese company, according to the reports. But again, we get the same law that talks say the activities of the president cannot be inquired into. So me, another litmus test again for the appeals court for synchronize them to legal provisions then they in the public interest. So I think say the judiciary don't face they under big test. We cannot run away from that. Parliament, yes, then get them work for doing around holding officials accountable with their oversight function. But for now, everything around this report is going to be centered around the independence of the judiciary. And not only the independence, but it can be a test on with professionals in this country, a test on surveyors, a test on quality assessors, a test. It can be a long drawn legal battle because, like I don't say, how you calculate unexplained wealth, where some man in impress public not even know. For example, the presidency. How you calculate per diem, where the man go take and say for the year I fly almost them. So yes, you go for do. It's gonna be mathematical. It's not gonna be just verbal. Say I know that man they go get you're not supposed to get. No, when you go to the courts, you for present a case and evidence where they justify that. If not, I'm afraid the independence of the jurisprudence of the courts therefore be tested, and this might end in the Supreme Court for the fact that there is a fundamental unresolved matter where the same courts not address when at the matter between the Bar Association and the explanation of rules of evidence versus rules of court. That matter there, that issue there are the suspects for come back, affect the appeals hearing and might end in the Supreme Court. But again, the independence of the court is under test. The way how the outcome will come out now the appeals court go make more people get believing say this not true fact, this not to that back fact, this not real fact. So I think say we institutions they get for the under test, but the biggest institution under test therefore be the judiciary. And I hope with what we don't see in the case of Paulo recently and other cases, then will stand the test of time and some of the wrongs as reported by the TRC and other reports about the judiciary will be corrected.
You sense any political witch hunt in all of this particular issue?
I'm not a politician, I cannot speak for them. But I will tell you, say politician, I don't deal with them for some years now. Politician, the mass something, it's a isilo offender. So that I go for say. Whether there is a political witch hunt or not, that is for the politicians.
Okay, just quick one. We know, say, of late recent, we see the recent happening in Parliament, ranging from committee sittings. Now we still see the change of committee chairman and other members then from the different committee. We don't hear from different things. We don't happen with some of them things in the where they happen at Parliament. What do you think say? What do you think say it mean to the country?
It means say the Parliament will get some parliamentarians their way they go Parliament we need for be trained more as to waiting the stand in order they say, but primarily waiting the Constitution of Sierra Leone they say. Parliament now an institution of laws, and if you go there, you go do three functions. You go represent people. Me and you go there for go perform oversight role, for checkmate state institutions, agencies, and other related bodies. In this situation, as we speak, there is a temporary ban on all summoning of witnesses. So what I mean? It means say accountability now Salwako or also Ministry of Finance or EDSA. Anything happen now during the line and day for this short time, although the government business leader say it's temporary, I talk to the clerk, they say it's temporary. But it means say if there is any pressing issue now for call any head of MDA now, any happy now. That is a weakness on parliamentary accountability. It's unprecedented. I don't ever see any modern parliaments, and they follow so many parliaments around the world, for let a committee don't be constituted for a session done. Do you say the committee not for the summon witnesses, or for let you just come and yes, they get the power as per the standing orders for make these committees then stand. But if you get committees them already where you don't see committee chairman don't resign for the first place, that is a blight on parliament. That is unprecedented. The law say member of parliament go resign from parliament, but the law not talk nothing but how member of parliament for resign from committee. So it should say there is a lacuna, there is a gap. We need to review the law again for spell out how will they appoint committee chairpersons and deputies. Yes, now the committee of selection, the constitution, the standing order say for doing. But again, I go take Carpenter for go be head of mines committee. I go to, I'm not saying that be in this case, but again, all of those issues we need to look at them from a critical lens as to if USA we want to go with the country. So for me, I think say yes, Parliament they under serious stress. Parliament need for do some reforms. Parliament need for be open and transparent. But I will tell you again, if you know the kind of parliament we'll get, it's an emerging parliament. It's not an advanced parliament. Before now, we used to get within the world we recognize as a rubber stamp parliament. Yes, it's a challenging parliament. But again, now we the Salon people and now we certify the parliament how it is so. For the fact that from where parliament starts, it starts with problem. Salon people vote, opposition majority, government minority. That is a fundamental political problem. That don't know where away from man. Not only the politician can cause that problem though. Now we say self cause that. So how the politician for manage that situation there, it take the professionals around parliamentary administration, now it take also fair play and play by the rules. Some of the rules are not there, but some of the rules then they. So play by those rules. If, for example, you want for all this government accountable, me and my opinion on a feel say the Public Accounts Committee give them to the opposition. Then you begin to see more. But if you go take somebody from the government bench, the chair the Public Accounts Committee, somebody from government bench, now the chair the Committee on Appointment, somebody on government bench, now the chair the Transparency Accountability. All of these are fundamental. You might see them as not problem, but they are problems because we can for do the effective parliamentary work. You go begin to see politics. If you listen to other people, they say them try for arm twister. But when you listen to the government leader and other people, and until you say no, because of they were not going in the rules of parliament. So all of these are issues where we need to get more transparency, more openness, but above all, more political fair play. It's a challenge in parliament, but we should not lose hope in the parliament either.
Okay, now Mr. Habib, as we wrap up the program, just quick one, waiting you go like for say as somebody where they talk for democracy and human rights issues, we don't see a lot of issues them. They appear now, the white paper now in day now where most people they look at some of the challenges that we get. Some people are supposed for they no day and now courts don't coincide. So what do you think of all the issues then they ask people get for the go for seek justice of all the matters that we come up? What's in your word of advice?
Rule of law get for be highly in the center place of everything, get for be respected, and I dey call on citizens for level able for really familiar with laws. Then we will go school for level read. Princess, you know, say when the Samsumara issue come, now that time they go now people at the table they meet constitution they don't. People know they read with constitution, they're not even familiar with. So like within Mr. Tijan they say, even the standing order in parliament, you know, only for members of parliament. I think even the public for know waiting how the parliament they operate, waiting at the laws they operate under. You know that kind of thing then they. But we know they read as a country, so we only believe in waiting people they go tell we. And we follow that. Sometimes the person waiting they tell we not lie, they lie, not true at all. They far from the truth. So I want the citizen of this country, this particular initiative, this president or this government are put in place. It be done day, but me just want for ask this government for make the serious with the rule of law and make sure say parliament put law in place where other government will come for can't turn down because we don't experience that in our country. Say or the other commission of inquiry then be seized property then you understand then again whether other government gonna be turned down. So that means that if we are dishonest to the citizen of this country, you say this property now the people of this country get later other government can they pull like give back to the same person, you know. So now that kind of thing the parliament for you for put law where any government can even for turn and down. You understand? So if the property belongs to Sierra Leone, let it serve Sierra Leone. Law no go another 2-3 years, other government can say no, they can't go back to Josiah because Josiah really not be biller. No, Josiah the money will be take build that property not in money, not people money, not citizen money. So that kind of let the rule of law really hold water in this country. So believe in me, social accountability will stand all over and corruption will be an expensive something we citizens not go want for the near at all.
Okay, well, plenty thank you for joining the program. Well, that's now Abdul Karim Habib. We are the National Coordinator for Network Movement for Democracy and Human Rights. We'll be there with the talk about their own position for SECA, the white paper. And also, I'll be get with me, Melvin Tijan Mansare. We are a parliamentary reporter and self-na media analyst. We don't follow issues them with happen at the country and self be the talk about waiting anything about some of the issues them. We don't happen at parliament and self the white paper. Well, this edition of the program Inside Parliament go left for today. Thank you to my producer them, Alex Lawrence Kuruma and Michael Sambola, we produced this program. And Seth, thank you to Franklin Pemabi, we make you watch we live na Radio Democracy Facebook page, and DJ Sugarcane, we make una the listen we. And thank you to everybody we be part of this production. Well, me na Princess Pias, we don't present this program, not forget say, every Saturday for the listen to the program Inside Parliament, where they come to you for talk about issues them with the happen in Parliament. So till we meet again, I say tata.
We dey vote for a member of parliament dem every 5 years. That means say the member of parliament there, we dey give them with trust for let them go make law dem for we. But plenty